Hello, loved ones. Thank you for joining me today. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome to the family. Today, we will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 10. The episode was called Moody Monthiversaries, and Moody it was. If you are excited about a particular Married at First Sight couple, please see the timestamps in the description box. Please subscribe so that you can be part of the congregation, and please comment so that you can be part of the conversation. And with that, let's get started. Welcome to Fueled by Intentions, where we talk about faith, family, finances, fitness, and fun. Sponsored by Bynum's Business Solutions, where the right fit is made simple. We specialize in tips, tools, and strategies designed to help you achieve your financial health so that you can take control of how you spend your money so that you can spend more time with your family, friends, and doing the things you love. So let's jump right into the video. Morgan and Ben. We first see Morgan on day 27. Now, when we left off on Morgan and Ben, Morgan was storming out of the apartment saying that Alexis had told her everything that Ben had said, and that was on day 25. So this is on day 27, and we see Morgan talking to her friend Deborah, and she is spilling all the tea, telling her friend that Ben has still continued to talk to Justin on a daily basis, and he has been lying to her because she asked him not to do that. And then they show this flashback scene to day 25 where Morgan is storming out of the apartment and Ben kind of runs after her, which she admits he kind of runs after her, and she makes a point that she kept on walking. She went to her car. I guess she's going to her house. So she gets in her car and she leaves. And a couple of minutes later, Alexis texts her and let her know that Ben is at her apartment. So Ben is at Alexis and Justin's apartment. So Ben then calls Morgan on FaceTime, and she really rips him a new one, saying that, there he goes again. He needed to go talk to somebody else. Alexis is in the background saying, hey, I told him he needs to talk to you. And then she tells Ben, she really belittled him. She really ripped him a new one. But she then tells Ben that he needs to go home right away. And I felt like I was listening to a mom talk to her son, and they need to work it out. And you hear Ben say, okay, he's going to go home and he's going to wait until she is ready. So now we get this episode on day 27, and she's letting her friend know that she still hasn't talked to Ben, but she's mad at him because she feels like he ran to Alexis and Justin. But my thing is if you leave out the door, I tried to trace you and you keep on walking, but you've told me that this other person has told you some information about me and that's why you're mad, I would go to the person too. So I really don't have a problem with Ben going over to Alexis and asking her, what did you say to Morgan? She left the house, she left in a huff, and she's not talking to me. So I don't know what Morgan thought Ben was supposed to do. I think that he's so confused. She talked to him like a 3-year-old in most of the episodes. So I don't know what's going to happen with this couple. But we do see Morgan is really upset. The thing about it is she didn't really say what he said. So, and the only thing that she recited again is the whole thing about her being a nurse and him not believing it. And we know that was on the honeymoon. So it makes me think that it's a lot of smoke and that she just is a person who, if she doesn't get her way exactly, then she's, in a huff. And you cannot be that way in marriage. And you have to talk things through. Now, I ain't faulting them for not talking for 2 or 3 days. I've been there, I've done that, and that is a part of my personality as well. It is not good. But I understand that, but I think it makes it worse when you're in an experiment and you only have Meredith, they have 8 weeks, 2 months, 60 days in order to get it together. So That was the first we saw of Morgan and Ben. We then see Morgan on day 30 in her morning montage, and she lets us know that she is not excited to talk to Ben. She is tired, she is mentally drained, but she needs to talk to him, and she wants to hear what he has to say. Now, this is on day 30, so it lets us know that they still have not talked when the whole incident happened on day 25. That night, we see Morgan at the Martial Arts Center, and she goes into boxing to get out some aggression. She lets us know that they have plans for their anniversary on the 31st in order to go back to their venue, and she is going to have a lot to say. So I think it's kind of weird that she just has not reached out to him at all. Doesn't sound like they've talked at all in this whole time. And also I'm wondering why they're not showing us Ben, or showing us Ben's thoughts. And I think it is production, because I think that I think they're doing the build up because Morgan is so mad. But I feel like if we saw Ben's side of the story, which I'm sure they're taping, they just didn't make the editing floor, that, I think that he may have said more about what the problem is, because I feel like at this point, we really don't know what the problem is, because I don't see any problem with Ben talking to Justin, even if she said no. Like, she's not his mom, so that's who he wants to talk to. He feels like he can trust Justin, and he can. Justin didn't say anything. It was Alexis. So I feel like that's something you can work out. And I cannot see Ben saying anything derogatory about Morgan, because I don't think that there is anything derogatory to say about Morgan at this point. We see she doesn't really talk a lot, so I'm not sure. I really wish I knew what the conversation was about, which would give me a better estimate. But at this time, I just think that Morgan is being Morgan, and she is pouting over nothing until I kind of know what the conversation is about. We then see Ben and Morgan on day 31, and they are meeting at their wedding venue, and Ben arrives hopeful. He says he has not talked to Morgan, but he hopes this is a step for them to take the walls down. He is hoping after dinner they can go back to their honeymoon suite and continue to get to know each other. Ben gives Morgan flowers, and Morgan throws them down. Morgan says she was excited to write her vows, but her vows are not for Ben. Morgan is giving Ben this one opportunity to explain himself and have a real conversation. Morgan is upset because she believes Ben is talking to Justin about their marriage, and she has asked him not to talk about their issues with the other couples. But I don't understand this, because she is on a show where they design scenes for you to talk about your issues and your marriage to the other couples on camera. So she is mad because Ben talked to Justin about their marriage off camera. I don't know. I'm confused. She then again brings up the whole thing about her being a nurse, and that was the honeymoon issue. And Ben looks like he is so confused. He is like, we covered that. Morgan says one of the things that Ben told Justin is that Morgan is upset because her family is not perfect like his is. And I don't think that Ben would say that, because last week on camera, Ben let us know that he feels like his family loves him for what he does and not for who he is. And I think that that is far from perfect. So that doesn't sound like something he would say or bring up. And I don't know, like, are you that upset because I said my family is better than, I don't know, like that seems like a really petty reason if that is the issue that he is talking about, and you're mad about it. But it doesn't fit with the rest of the things that we've seen on camera. The issues that she brought up was also the nursing issue, which is an old issue that they covered at the honeymoon. And she says that Ben is not fully grasping what he has done. And I feel like when she said that she was talking to a 3-year-old child. Morgan appears to be just belligerent in this scene. She was so disrespectful, I think, and I don't know. I think that she never let Ben talk. I don't think she let him allowed him to have a piece of the conversation. And she told her friend that on the phone that wasn't her. She's never done that before, but I think that is consistent with her behavior. I think that is consistent. When she gets upset with you, she is not going to let you talk. She is not going to let you get your point in. And if you are not saying exactly what she wants you to say, then, too bad for you. And Ben, he is so more reserved, so I feel like he has a harder time getting his words out. Because at the end, he was like, well, I was just trying to defend myself. And I'm like, you didn't do a good job of it unless they just didn't show it. So I don't know. What do you think? She does sit down with him at the table, and he does admit that he's talking to Justin about his issues, but Justin is somebody that he feels like he can trust. And, she says, hey, that's what I told you not to do. And so I feel like she's saying, you know what, you don't do anything that I don't tell you to do. And I think that's more of a parent-child relationship. You can't make your husband not do something. You can't make a grown adult, forget your husband, you can't make a grown adult not do something because you told them not to. Now you can be upset about it and you can renegotiate it, and you can say, I've asked you not to do this. You said you wouldn't do it. Where do we go from here? And you did betray my trust. But I don't think that she should have just talked to him like he was a 3-year-old. She does want to talk to the experts, and I'm like, where are the experts? I mean, they should have come to the rescue already. It has been 6 days and the experts haven't reached out to have a conversation with them. Now, I think that 6 days is too long on a 60-day show. The experts should have already reached out to them to try to help them resolve this issue. They see the footage, they know what's going on. Morgan did say that she was not going to stop the experiment, that she wants him to see her daily, to see what he has done to her and to see her pain. But I'm like, am I watching a Lifetime movie called Hostage? Because it sounded like she was going to hold him hostage to her pain. But I don't think that she's going to do that, because in order to do that, she would have to move back into the apartment for him to see her daily and see her pain. And I think that she is going to continue to avoid him and continue to stay at her own home. So I would really interested to see how that is going to go. But she then, kind of walks off, and Ben goes to the honeymoon suite, and he looks so sad. He then looks at the pictures, looks at their vows, gets his bag, and then rolls off into the sunset. Oh my God, I just don't know. I don't think that Alexis should have told Morgan that Ben and Justin were talking. I think that if she felt like it was something that wasn't supposed to be said, that she should have told Justin that he needs to deal with it with Ben. Because I feel like Alexis telling Morgan that betrayed the trust that Justin had in his wife. He was talking in his own home on speakerphone, and sometimes, maybe he would share things with her. And I think that he's just not going to do that. So she's ruining the trust between her and her husband. But Justin, maybe he's forgiven. He'll give her another opportunity. But I understand it's a tricky situation because they all don't know each other. So they don't know each other's intentions, and, so that's kind of weird. But I think that Alexis really took a dig at Justin by betraying his trust, and Morgan got mixed up in it. Alexis had a lot to say about this subject on the after party. So if you haven't seen my after party review and what I think about what Alexis said about this issue, then check out that next. Do you think this couple is going to make it? Do you think Alexis should have told? And do you think that Morgan is right in chastising Ben for talking to Justin if he agreed not to? And what did you think about Ben? Do you think that he'll be able to stand up for himself, or do you think that this is just doomed to destruction? So let me know what you think by commenting in the comment section. Alexis and Justin. We first see Alexis and Justin on day 27 in their morning montage, and she lets us know that Newton has taken her place in the bed. It's now day 28 for Justin and Alexis, and we see Justin going fishing with his brother Donnell. He tells his brother that marriage is a challenge. He says he has these random outbursts that nobody has called him on and that they are draining Alexis. They then give us a flashback of him having his outburst at the group therapy session. I think we have also seen the outburst with him and his brother at the bachelor party. He says that he's now in his head and that makes him mess up constantly. We then see Alexis chatting with her friend Jackie, and she says that they have good days and they have bad days, but the bad days are draining and it is an emotional roller coaster. Alexis says that Justin does not self-regulate. He does not know when he needs a moment, so she has to do it for him. He comes back and agrees that a break is needed, and then he has clearer thoughts. She says excuses can only go so far, and she may not be able to handle this because it never stops. She is losing a bit of her drive, and she is shutting down, trying to get him not to shut down. She is unsure what she would say if decision day was today. She says she would not be comfortable by saying yes, and she wouldn't be comfortable saying no. We then move on to day 30, and Alexis and Justin have hopes for today, and they say that they just want to have a good day with a lot of smiles and appreciation. We then see Alexis and Justin scrapbooking for their anniversary. Alexis says that she is challenged in her marriage. They are working through issues, but the same issues keep coming up over and over again. I say, welcome to marriage. That is the world of marriage, because you will go through the same issues over and over again until the issue is truly worked out. Because sometimes we only skim the surface of an issue, we don't understand the other person, and it will continue to come up again and again. Alexis says her honeymoon was perfect, and Justin's favorite day on the honeymoon was when he told Alexis that he loved her. Justin's brother advised him to try not to work on all his issues at once. He feels like he's running out of time and he needs to fix the issues before decision day. But Alexis says that they are only halfway through and they have the same amount of time to fix the issues as they had to cause the issues to occur. And I love that encouragement to Justin. I thought that that was a great way to look at it, and I hope that they're able to do that. But I think they will only be able to do that if Alexis is really willing to let go of the Newton situation. Alexis tells us in a cameo that if she was not married, she would not still be there with Justin. She says that there is too much hurt too soon. She says what is keeping her there is her husband. Oh my God, these couples, if she would have already left based on what they've been through, they all need to read Pastor Cal's book, Marriage is Not for Punks, because that is so true. You go through so many ups and downs in marriage. You're getting to know the lifestyle of another person. You're not going to agree with your spouse all the time, and it's really the way you deal with it. So I don't know. I feel like if they cannot make it through the 8 weeks of this experiment, then their marriage probably wasn't going to make it at all anyway, because marriage is difficult. It is one of the most difficult things I have ever done. And I don't think that the problems that we are seeing is anything that you are going to experience when you really get into the details of marriage. She says to Justin that they are learning more and more about each other and how to deal with one another. She encourages him to remember the good times. And I think that is what it's all about. You are learning one another. And I feel, especially for them, it's 8-week experiment. You don't know the person at all. So you really have to work extra hard to go through, to make it successful. And I think that is why we call this show an experiment. It is definitely an experiment to test how you will be able to get along with another human being, and if you will be able to effectively communicate and discuss and work out. We then see them on day 31, and they are going to the group dinner, and the whole cast is going to the group dinner on a party bus. and it looked like so much fun. We first see the interaction between Justin and Alexis when Mitch is discussing his growth in his marriage, and Justin comments that Mitch has grown a lot. And we see Alexis. Her look says that she is not feeling it at all. Justin immediately senses that something is wrong with Alexis. When it's her turn, she says she does not want to talk. She just wants to listen. So in her cameo, she says that she was being silent because she does not want to be disrespectful by revealing that Justin is not making progress. Justin then explains why he thinks it's odd that Alexis does not want to talk. He thinks that if they are doing good and overcoming challenges, that he is not understanding why she does not want to share that with the group. Instead of Alexis being honest and saying, you complimenting Mitch about his growth is stirring something up in me because I believe that we should be further in our growth, she makes him think he's crazy. And she says if he is comfortable, if he feels like everything is comfortable in their relationship, that he should just stand in that. She then takes it a step further. When she sees that he's upset, she says, when I'm upset, I talk to you. To me, at this moment, she is trying to make him look like the villain. He is trying to calmly move past the situation. I feel at this moment, he is trying to control his outburst. I really do. And he actually said it in the conversation. She then announces that he is pouting, and she begins to speak and say that he does not self-regulate. And I don't think that that was fair. I think that if she was trying to respect her husband, that in that moment she didn't disrespect the husband, because I think that he, like he said, was trying to do what she has asked him to do and control his random outbursts. And he was doing it by being silent. But I don't think that Justin is wrong in this situation. It was weird for Alexis, who is a talker, to be quiet, and I think that he wanted her to celebrate their union together and say great things like everybody else did about their marriage. Now, I do think that once she said that she didn't want to talk, he could have just talked. He could have just said, well, I'll speak. The men spoke, the women spoke, and said, I think that we're doing great. We're overcoming challenges. He could have even said, she's pointed out some things in me that I'm, trying to work on. We had a great day scrapbooking or whatever. So I think that instead of, I don't know, this happens in all marriages where the conversation just goes left and you just don't know how it did that. But it goes left for both of them. I can't even really describe how the conversation, because rallying back and forth, it was just a weird dynamic. But she goes into the bathroom and she cries to Stacia, and he goes outside and he talks to producer, and I think that it was a big thing about nothing. But I do think that Justin was trying to self-regulate himself, and then Alexis, her outburst about how it still hurts her and she's crying, I just don't believe that. That just didn't seem, I didn't understand that. I guess I should say I didn't understand that. I can't understand why you are so hurt. I can't see what he is doing to hurt her, but I think she's still holding on to the Newton situation, and you cannot hold grudges like that in marriage, especially not a new marriage, because it's not going to work. What do you think about this couple? Alexis was on the after party and she talked about this scene, so go check out my review to see what I think about what she said. But what do you think? Do you think they will make it? Are you team Alexis? Are you team Justin in this dinner conversation? I'm team Justin. I think that it was okay for him to ask her what was wrong. He was trying to be quiet, but what do you think? What do you think about the argument just escalated? And what do you think about her being so frustrated because she's tired and it still hurts her? Did you understand what she was hurt about? Let me know your thoughts by sounding off in the comments. Lindy and Miguel. I think this couple did really good on this episode. I didn't think that they had a lot of peaks and valleys. We see them on day 27 and they are in their montage, and Miguel is cooking another delicious breakfast for Lindy. We then see them on the day of their anniversary on day 30 in their morning montage, and they are cooking breakfast again. But they let us know that they're going on a boat ride. We then see them on day 30 and they are on their boat ride, and they say they are very comfortable with one another and they feel like they have known each other longer. Miguel says maintaining something that is worthwhile takes a lot of work, perseverance, dedication. He must figure out where he has room to express himself and where she has room to express herself. Miguel read an article that said you can get along with someone as long as you have reliability and predictability. And Miguel says that Lindy outbursts are predictable, which seemed like a contradiction to me, but if he can predict them, then I think that's great for their relationship. Lindy lets Miguel know that he has not seen the worst of her. He thought he had, but she says, no, you have not seen the worst of me yet. We then see them back at their apartment and they receive their wedding box. And Lindy lets us know that she is less anxious since she has met Miguel, and it's noticeable because she does not bite her nails. She believes Miguel has done a good job of dealing with her when she shows parts of her that are not fun and loving. She wants Miguel to keep accepting her and making her feel secure and cared for. I feel like Lindy is wife material. I think that because Lindy is willing to change some things about her and her behavior, and because she has respect for Miguel, that they can make it. And so I'm not sure, as long as, because I think that the changes that he is wanting from her are changes that she wants within herself, but she's never been called out on it. So she's never had the motivation to change. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. While looking at the wedding photos, Miguel thinks Lindy is being hypercritical, and it's taken away from his overall experience, and he really wanted to enjoy the moment. Lindy believes that he has been living up to his vows 100%. Lindy says this is the most healthy relationship that she has ever been in. Miguel thinks it's been easy because they have a lot of chemistry. We then see them on day 31 and they are going to the group dinner, and it looked like they were having so much fun. The whole group went on a party bus. At the group dinner, Miguel says things are going better than he expected. He is surprised because although he hoped for a great marriage, he did not think that he would have this type of connection with a stranger. Lindy says that she is happy. She says that she has been in other relationships where she has been able to get away with murder, and she has been able to talk any type of way to that person and they take it. However, she respects Miguel and she does not want to treat him that way. It's taken a lot of her to work on her, but Miguel is worth it. I love that Lindy has come to this revelation, and when she was saying it, Justin was shaking his head yes, and I think that's because Justin is trying to work on his outburst thing that Alexis has pointed out to him, that he said to his brother that nobody has called him on it. So it sounds like that Lindy is giving up her angry inner child, and I think that if she is willing to do that, I think that this marriage can work. So what did you think about Miguel and Lindy? What did you think about the revelation on the boat ride, that it takes work? What did you think about Miguel getting kind of upset with Lindy because she wasn't as positive about the wedding photos and reliving their wedding day? Do you think this couple will make it? What do you think about Lindy and Miguel? Let me know what you think by sounding off in the comments. Stacia and Nate. We see Stacia and Nate on day 28, and they are in their morning montage, and they're in bed, and Nate says that all 5 couples have had their challenges and marriage is not going to be perfect. We then see Stacia on day 28, and she is making dessert with her mom, Stacia. Her purpose is to talk to her mom about her trust issues. She says that Nate needs to reassure her that he is falling in love with her through his actions because she does not want to be in a loveless marriage. She does not want to wait forever. She wants to be able to trust Nate with all good things, bad things, pretty things, and know that he still has her back. Stacia says that Nate is trying to open up, but it is slow moving. Her mom says that she knows Stacia and Stacia wants answers now. She says Stacia revisits issues and can't move forward and let things go. Stacia says she cannot go forward in life until obstacles are removed. Stacia is crying because Nate is slowly opening up to her, but it's not fast enough. Her mom reminds her that it's only been 1 month. Stacia admits that she does not give Nate enough time to open up. She says she must come to him in a positive way and continue to show patience. Stacia says she struggles with trust because she has been let down before. She thinks trust is earned and not given. She thinks people are going to always let you down. And I think that that is so sad. That is the experience of many people, that they do not trust. I don't know. What do you think? I think that trust is given and then you have to break the trust. But some people are like Stacia and they think that trust is earned. You start at a 0 and then you build the trust to 100. But I give everybody 100, and once you break the trust, your score goes down. So I think that that was an interesting revelation. It's definitely two different ways how people look at the world. So let me know your thoughts on that. Her mom gets emotional because she thinks she is a part of the letting down for Stacia, and she blames it on a relationship that she had as the action that led to that. But I'm not sure if the relationship, maybe you let Stacia down in how you dealt with the relationship. I felt like she was pushing the blame on a relationship and not taking accountability if she has let Stacia down in the past. But she prays that Stacia will give him the opportunity and trust him until she can't trust him. And I said, go mom. That is what you have to do. You have to trust somebody until you just can't trust them due to what they've done over and over. Stacia says she understands that she needs to give others their space, but when she does, she feels empty. I think that Stacia needs to continue her therapy. For me, the worst part was if people are not responding to her in the speed and manner she wishes, she feels empty. You can only control yourself. I think she needs to find out the root cause of why she feels empty based on another person's actions. You have to find a way to control your own emotions, regardless of the outside influences. However, for me, this does explain her feelings last week of feeling sad, abandoned, and lonely. We then see Stacia and Nate on day 30 in their morning montage, and Stacia asks if they are where he wanted them to be or thought they would be. Nate says that they are going at a good pace. Stacia then volunteers to babysit Krysten's dog Luna, and I love Luna. Although I don't like dogs, I love Luna. She is just the funniest TV dog. Oh my gosh, she does add to TV comedy. Stacia says she is not opposed to dog ownership, but she does not want the maintenance. She wants to compromise since Nate wants a dog. I love compromising. That is what you have to do. Stacia goes to get the dog, and Krysten lets her know that she must rub Luna down daily with a lint brush. She must hold him a crazy way and clean his wrinkle daily. And Luna has a daily schedule that includes a 7:30 a.m. walk. So Luna seems like she is a little diva dog. And this is going to be a fun time for Stacia. So Stacia and Nate, they then go to sign their post-nuptial agreement. Luna is scratching at the door trying to go with them, but Nate says, you know what, the dog can last a couple hours by herself. Stacia says she is glad that Nate agreed to sign the post-nuptial, and it makes her trust him more. But that's scary because you give up some of your control. She wants Nate to lead, but she needs to give him space to do that, and she is doing that. But I'm not seeing where she's giving him space to lead. Basically, their finances will remain separate, and one day in the future, they will have a joint savings account. And if they get divorced, their joint savings account will come out proportionately. So if Stacia puts in 90% and Nate puts in 10%, then that is how it's gonna come out. Nate wants to show action of protecting her and that he is not trying to take anything from her. I think the proportionally coming out of a savings account, that's going to be different. I wouldn't want to do that. I would just like, hey, you put your money in a savings account, I put my money in a savings account, because that is too much to keep track of how much everybody is putting in. I don't know. I think that if you have joint accounts, you just have a joint account, and if you're not ready to do that, in case you get a divorce, then you just keep it separate, because trying to figure out, I put in $1, you put in 10. I think that that's too much in marriage. I think that's, yeah. So, but if it works for them, it works for them. People can do their finances all kind of ways in marriage. We then see Stacia and Nate on day 30, and we get a little Luna action. And she is making out with her bed, which I think must be a common practice, because we've seen her do this with Krysten as well. For their anniversary, they went out on an outdoor lunch date, and Nate let Stacia know that she is saying things that is tied to trust, and that really hurts him. And I was so glad that Nate was able to express that. I think some guys are not able to express their feelings, especially when they are hurt. So I was really glad that he shared that with Stacia. I also love that he identified that she was saying those things due to her fear. So I love that he related her hurting him to her own fears that she has. I think that was an excellent conversation. He says that he is a 7 or 8 on the love scale, and he is growing in love with her because they have successfully made it through a hurdle. And I think that is it. When you can successfully maneuver through things, that is when your relationship grows and gets deeper. I love this dinner date. I love this conversation, because last week I identified that they were on the crazy cycle of marriage, when one person's reactions to their own fears taps into another one's reaction of their fears. And I believe that is what Nate was describing, the crazy cycle. So the fact that they are able to get off this roller coaster early is going to be excellent for the success of their marriage. And I think that we can take that on as well. If we can learn or see and identify the crazy cycles that are in our marriage, where one of our fears taps into another person's fear, and we keep trying to alleviate our fear, but as we're doing that, we're tapping into our partner's fears. And if we can identify that, that would take us leaps and bounds in our relationship. We then see them on day 31, and Stacia has surprised Nate with matching tattoos, and they are going to get their wedding date tattooed on their hand in Roman numerals. Stacia is nervous about the pain, but then Nate reminds her that having a baby will be more painful. So I guess Nate is on board with having a baby now. Stacia says that this is a now action that shows that Nate is committed, and she is more reassured that Nate is all in. We then see them at the group dinner, and they all go to the group dinner on a party bus, and it looks like they are having so much fun. Stacia says it's been growing pains for her. She came in knowing exactly what she wanted and who she was, but it has revealed that she has work to do. They have disagreements, but they are making it on the other side. It builds character, growth, and brings them closer together. Nate thinks that they complement each other, and they have the same vision, and they are seeing a bigger picture, and that can help them deal with the small arguments they have. He is falling in love with Stacia, and he is very happy. He wants his best friend, and he thinks that Stacia is it. And that was it for Stacia and Nate. So what do you think about this couple? What do you think about the matching tattoos? What do you think about how they rebounded from last week's episode? Do you think that in this short period of time that Nate can go from a 4 to an 8? What do you think? We do see on an upcoming episode that it looks like he's saying he's not in love with her, but we know editing. So let me know in the comments what you think about this couple, Krysten and Mitch. We first see Krysten and Mitch on day 27 in their morning montage, and Mitch lets us know that he is reporting live from the bed with his wife. Later on that day, we see Krysten candle making with her friend Zoe. She says that married life in general is what she thought it would be. They have fun and it feels like a real marriage. Krysten is conflicted because Mitch got obsessed about her real estate goals. Mitch has a negative connotation about flipping homes. She says that Mitch thinks that developers are bad people and success is the enemy of the environment. She felt that he was not supportive about her dreams and wants her to rethink what she wants to do with her life. She says that if her parents does not approve of somebody and how they treat her, that she does not know how she's going to go on. That was so weird about how she feels her parents are going to feel about how she's being treated. But she is an adult, so she should determine if she is being treated fairly or not based on what her parents think. I don't think we should go by what our parents think, because if you would have talked too loudly to me, my mom would have said, "Off with your head." So Krysten is grown and she should be able to assess if she is being treated fairly. She learned from her parents that marriage is a tough journey, but when it's good, it's great. And the best journey you can share with someone if it's the right person. Zoe does not want Krysten to change. She says she doesn't want her to change the parts that Mitch doesn't like because there is somebody out there who will. Krysten says moving forward, she is going to be the best wife. She's going to be kind and patient and understanding, and she will bring out the best in Mitch. If she gets the best in Mitch and still feels the way she does, then she's going to have a tough decision on decision day. She says she is happy, but unsure if this is really a match. We then see Krysten and Mitch on day 30 in their morning montage, and Krysten bids Mitch a happy 1-month anniversary and gives him a kiss. For their 1-month anniversary, Krysten and Mitch go to Jillian, California to a quiet mind retreat. Krysten wants to make positive memories without heavy, deep conversations for the weekend. For their first activity, they take a yoga class, and Mitch grunts loud and often, and they compare him to Little Luna. Krysten and Mitch then receive their wedding box. Krysten thinks marriage is hard, but if they continue to embrace the positive and have great nights, they can both fall in love. They review their pictures and vows, and Krysten thinks that she has lived up to her wedding vows. Mitch thinks he can step it up. He has done his best, but he thinks this is a great reminder. He basically vowed to be open, and he has been a closed door. He says that he has allowed his judgments to get the best of him, and it hurts their momentum. He feels a lot of affection towards Krysten and thinks that he can fall in love with her. They both have no regrets and say they are giving it their all. We then see them on day 31 going to the group dinner. The group is going to a venue on a party bus, and it looks like they are having so much fun. They find out that Morgan and Ben are not coming, and Krysten says if there's going to be food and friends that she would go, even if Mitch would not. During the group dinner, Mitch says it's been demanding and difficult. He has never lived with a girl, so it's a huge leap of faith. It's been a journey of self-discovery. He was not sure if he could be a husband. Krysten says he is an incredible man, and everyone can see that he is trying. Krysten struggles when Mitch says that he was not sure if he could be a husband. She came into this already a wife. She is frustrated because everyone is cheering on Mitch, and she thinks it's going well because she is trying so hard, showing up and compromising. She wants to know when Krysten will be able to be Krysten and stop walking on eggshells. She says she is going to snap. She says she might lose Mitch when she snaps. I wanted to say, Krysten, pick me. I can tell you when you will stop walking on eggshells. You will stop walking on eggshells when you are done with the fear of losing the relationship. Only when she's done with that fear will she be able to relax and be herself. Krysten says emotionally, she thinks she was more prepared. Mitch says he does not want to offer advice because she did not ask for it, which I think was a good point on Mitch's part. However, he wants to encourage her to be her true self. He says it will not shut him down. Well, that's it for Krysten and Mitch. What did you think about this couple? Do you think that Krysten is really going to snap? Or do you think she already snapped in this episode? Do you think if she stops walking on eggshells that Mitch will be able to not shut down? Do you think this couple is going to make it? Well, let me know your thoughts by sounding off in the comments. Well, that put another great episode in the books. What do you think about these couples? Be sure to let us know your comments in the comments section. And watch the after party review next. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, live with intention. Be intentional.